Opposite the British Museum, Gosh is in our opinion the finest graphic novel store in the United Kingdom. We sell vintage comics, vintage children's books, design books and the widest range of new graphic novels from around the world. Hello, my name's Will Kane and I've been working in graphic novel stores for over 20 years, and during that time I've seen quite some changes. Once upon a time, when I first started, it was all about these, what we call floppy comics, and it's mostly about superheroes like Superman and Batman and Wonder Woman. About 20 years ago that all changed, and now it's more about what we call graphic novels, which are serious and grown up. And this brings me on to my book club recommendation. It's the book From Hell by Alan Moore and Eddie Campbell, and it's a new retelling of a very oft-told tale of the Jack the Ripper murders in Whitechapel in London in the late 19th century. And unlike other stories of this kind, it's not a whodunit, it's more of a whodunit. It also has more in common with the novels of Peter Ackroyd and Ian Sinclair, the way the city affects the subconscious and the consciousness of its inhabitants. Really the main theme of the book is really, why do we remember Jack the Ripper when there are so many other similar murders going on in London at the same time? Why is it this one? And you realise it's because it was the start of tabloid journalism and the way the story was taken up by journalists and how they started faking stories and faking letters from Jack the Ripper to make the story more spicy. The illustrations very much emulate the illustrations you would find in the 19th century newspaper. It's very sympathetic to the subject matter in that way. It's meticulously researched. There's about 100 pages of footnotes at the back, just explaining where they've referenced all their evidence and all their historical data from. It's not your typical graphic novel. In fact, it's the nearest to a novel that any graphic novel's ever got in terms of its depth of subject matter and purpose. And that's why that's my recommendation.